Hello, fellow humans and eavesdropping robots. Welcome to another Sunday edition from my kitchen table. I'm Anna Clint, your fearless guide through the collective dark night of the soul journey that we are all on, that none of us remember buying tickets for, yet here we are. What came through to talk about today is around chaos and clarification. So it does feel pretty chaotic out there. You don't need me to tell you that. There's so much happening in terms of war, political stuff, more attempts on the president that line up perfectly with his astrology. It's kind of like we're living in a simulation. Doesn't it feel that way? Feels that way to me. OPEC might be falling apart. We don't know what's going on anywhere. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what's real, what's true, what isn't true. It's kind of maddening if you let yourself go down that rabbit hole. But so when you're in your personal dark night of the soul experience, there is so much chaos and confusion. Like, it's just incredibly difficult to parse out what's really happening. Why is it happening? Why do I feel this way? It's very easy to think that some terrible experience has befallen you, when it's actually purposeful. And of course, if you don't approach your dark night journey with consciousness and courage and compassionate curiosity, you're not going to see this. And the same goes for the collective. You're not going to see this if you are feeling like life is happening to you rather than through you, through all of us at the level of the collective. And, there's a lot of reasons why it's really easy to fall back into life is happening to me. A lot of it has to do with your early life programming, traumatic experiences, coping strategies that you have, whether you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, whether you learned helplessness as a child, like I did. And there's no judgment in any of that. It's just, again, like this is how we can see things, through this lens, through this conscious lens. And to extrapolate about the collective, as a collective, we have learned helplessness. We have been taught and trained and indoctrinated to give our power away to those in power, right? This is part of a hierarchical society in which we live. And in a lot of ways, this is what's being dismantled, and it's very exciting and also potentially terrifying. But this is a time with Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus now in Gemini, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. But this is a time now that we've never seen before. These placements of these very, very slow moving transpersonal planets. These are the planets that affect the collective, right? As well as the individual, but it's affecting all of us. Pluto is in Aquarius for all of us right now. And has very specific ramifications. And one of those is a return to power to the people. We, the people. How interesting that here America is celebrating 250 years, supposedly. I don't know. We'll see how much of a celebration it is. We're going to see what happens. But this is our 250-year anniversary, and we have a document that says, we the people. We the people. So let's not forget that. Because we need to remember that, because we're in the part of the movie where the objective is to keep we the people confused, afraid, and if possible, in some state of despair even. And look at how effective the tactics are. Because when we are confused and afraid and in a state of despair, you don't need me to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is how we get herded like cattle into new savior structures. Okay? Savior structures. Remember, nobody is coming to save us except for us. And these new savior structures, which are emerging, are intended to extract our sovereignty. Okay? This is the objective, is to keep us herded like animals. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at what the Davos set has in store for humanity by 2030, and they're getting plentiful support from the big tech bros. It is nothing short of soul extraction, in my opinion. But for the plan to work, they need us confused, they need us afraid, and they need us asleep. And here's where things get really, 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 really tricky, is that it's really hard to know when we have fallen asleep. And it's really hard to know if we are still asleep in the matrix. This is one of the things that keeps me up at night when I ask these deep existential questions that I wish more people were asking and talking about. And maybe all of you who are listening are asking those same questions. How do we know that we're really awake? How do we know that we're really able to affect change in our environment? Anyway, yes, there's a lot of chaos. Yes, it's fear inducing. Yes, it can be sorrow inducing. And it is absolutely okay to have a lot of emotions right now. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to bypass those. It's okay if you feel anything that you're feeling. Maybe it's outrage or anger or fear or sorrow, or maybe you're feeling love or contentment or peace. You do you. Either way, this time, this invitation right now is to disidentify with your emotions. That is not to say sweep them under the rug. That is to say notice them and let them move through you. Okay? Because you are not anger, you experience anger. You are not shame, you experience shame. Yet in the English language, we say, I am afraid, meaning I am that thing. I am ashamed. I am joy. No, you're not even joy. It is merely nearby. It's noticeable. It's making itself known in your experience, but it's not who you are. Now, as Gemini is moving into, Uranus has just moved into Gemini. And unless you live another 84 years, you're never going to see this again in your lifetime. And Gemini is very fast moving air. It's mutable. It changes constantly. And Uranian energy is surprising and unexpected. And it comes in bursts. And, Gemini rules communication and social media. So there's a lot here to be paying attention to. And I don't mean to be taking in more information. I mean, looking at the bigger picture, asking those harder questions, because I'm going to guarantee you a lot more disclosures are coming, and they're going to probably be coming faster now. And as we know, over social media, it is becoming increasingly difficult to tell what is real and not real. And honestly, this has been going on for a very freaking long time, but it's going to even accelerate even more. And it's going to get harder to tell what is real. And I use that word loosely because what is reality anyway, except a shared shared consensus about what we all agree is happening when we actually have no idea what is happening. And the way that our brains filter information, we're filtering out pretty much 98% of the data that's all around us. And that data is potentially coming from the galactic center, from the sun. All sorts of things are happening now that our limited consciousness can't even put language to. This is going to speed up. This is going to accelerate with Uranus and Gemini, and with the astrology that is coming in July, which is going to be also profoundly exciting and also potentially profoundly destabilizing. So, the temptation with all of this energy and all of this information coming at you faster and faster and faster is to want to gather it up and take it all in and do all, like, I need to know everything so that I can feel safe and comfortable and secure in my limited worldview. Because face it, we all have a limited worldview. We cannot know the whole picture. And so the invitation is to slow down, way, way down, because it's the only way that you're going to find any level of discernment. And the invitation, my deep invitation and hope for you, is that you will not take anything at face value. That goes for whether it's coming from your favorite news outlet that you have convinced yourself is telling you the truth, unbiased. There is no such thing as unbiased reporting. Even from the independent people that I follow, everybody has an agenda. They may not be aware of it. They may not be forward and forthright about it. I will tell you, my agenda is love. I will be forthright about it. I have an agenda, and it's love. It's about restoring our humanity. And so, how do we do this? I'm petting Luna now, in case you're wondering. Hi, Toonies. We have to question everything. We have to ask the $1,000,000 question: who benefits from this narrative and why? And how do we get to that discernment? It comes from centering yourself in the heart. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, no, you've got to center yourself in your womb space. You've got to open up your crown chakra. You've got to, okay, yes. And you know the best way to do all of that is to start in your heart. And for everyone who loves science out there, this is proven scientifically. This is heart math stuff. Go look it up. Start in the heart. And so let's do it together right now. Put your hand on your heart center. This is where the divine spark lives within you if you follow Gnostic teachings, right? This is where God lives inside of you. And I use that word in my own interpretation. And you can insert another word if God destabilizes you in any kind of way. And I get it if it does. But this is where that lives inside of you. And you just breathe into your heart. And as you breathe into your heart, you expand this energy. The energy of the heart is singular. The energy of the mind is dual: left, right, good, bad, wrong, right, evil, good. Which savior should I choose? You choose this one that lives inside your heart. And as you expand that energy from your heart, send it up, send it down into the earth. Breathe into the field around you, the singular energy of the heart. This is how you find your own truth inside of yourself, your inner authority. This is how you reclaim your sovereignty. This is your place of power. And let it infuse your womb, your root, your solar plexus. Let it infuse your throat so that you may speak truth, your hands, your feet, your third eye, your crown, and all around. Let it infuse that with that singular, powerful energy of your heart so that you can remember the divinity inside of your humanness and the humanity of others. So this is how you can love no matter what. And I invite you, as you go out into the world this week, to imagine, as you come across other people, greeting them inside your own very heart. Hello, sister. Hello, brother. Hello, fellow human. We are the same. Even if they vote different than you, at this point, they have us where they want us. And if you want to play the game of division, That's absolutely your prerogative. If you want to slip into separation, that's absolutely okay. You're allowed to do that. And I'm still going to love you. And I'm still going to hold a very high intention that you can come to this place of love and find our shared humanity and stand up for your sovereignty in the midst of insane chaos, absolute insanity out there. But guess what? That doesn't mean that we're going to dissolve and fall apart and become annihilated, because through the chaos, we can find our clarification. Because what happens is once you realize that there's a bigger thing going on, and you can meet the chaos with open curiosity and compassion and consciousness. And you can meet your emotions as they are and disidentify with them. That's how all of these things get clarified. The dark night of the soul is an initiation, and it is a clarification process. It is about essentializing the most important things. And so when it looks like chaos out there, remember that we are now going to be able to sort the wheat from the chaff. As the chips fall, as these structures fall, as they put up all of these beautiful opportunities to give your sovereignty away through all of these digital means, we're going to have the chance to clarify. It's a clarification process. Okay, that's it. That's my soapbox for today. If you've listened this far, you're a rock star. Love you.